We are in the northernmost capital of the world. Welcome to Reykjavik, Iceland. In this video, we're gonna take you to some of the most iconic places that Reykjavik is known for and maybe some of the places not so famous. Let's start the tour.
It's raining. It's been raining for 3 days. So what we have done is bundled and we have a few landmarks that we want to go see.
Yeah.
But based on the weather, we may just look at them from the car. And this will tell you how the weather in Iceland can be very unpredictable. So let's start this. Oh, it's raining a little bit. So the plan is we're gonna get in, or we may just decide to walk 10 minutes in this weather and see how we feel. What do we do?
The weather
10
is not
minutes.
that bad.
10 minutes.
We can do it.
Yeah,
And
let's.
if we are close by, we can always decide to come back to the car and then.
Okay, so we have decided to walk
Walk.
because I don't think there is any parking right next to the Sun Voyager, and we're about 10-minute walk from the place. Time check, it's about 3:10. Let's walk over there, take some pictures, walk back, and then we're gonna start driving around. We were walking here, and there was a nice local on a bike, and she reminded us that is bike lane, this is walkway.
It's an 8-minute walk.
A lot of walk signs, also audible walk signs, because as you come close to it, there's a clicking that's happening. Now this goes all the way to the concert hall, and that was going to be our stop number 2, because apparently you can go inside and have some great views of Reykjavik. So there's a tiny, either a yacht or a cruise ship, but on this side there's a giant cruise ship. Check out the yellow local buses. That's number 16 and that's number 18. Walking across, I can already see a bunch of folks next to the Voyager sculpture. Oh, it's a nice walkway. And by the way, I see the church also. Yesterday there were 40-mile-per-hour gusts, and we were doing a whole bunch of different things outside of Reykjavik, and we lucked out. We actually got some blue skies, but then towards the end the rain hit us, and it hit us so hard that within 30 seconds we were soaking wet, freezing cold. So that's, unpredictable.
That's how it is, yeah.
For reference, this is early September. I know we post our videos late, but if you're watching it in future, for reference, this is September, and I'm wearing my ski jacket. It's comfortable, but a ski jacket doesn't look too off, because it does get pretty chilly if the wind hits you. There's a bunch of Domino's, Subways. Haktu? Oh, the fast food joint. Alia, does this remind you of any of our other walks in Lisbon, in Hong Kong? It's different.
It's actually complete opposite weather if you consider. These rocks do remind me of St. Thomas.
So this is the sidewalk that we are walking on. You can see the cruise ships on the other side. That is interesting, St. Thomas, but the opposite of St. Thomas.
Yes.
Now, if it was clear, you would have seen like a lot of those mountain ranges far away. But oh, here we can see, I think it's an MSC. It is an MSC ship. We have been talking about going on a cruise for a little bit. Our next one is not for a number of months, and our previous one we canceled it due to some scheduling issues. So we have been dying to go on a cruise.
Now by that sculpture, I do see a lot of people there, and there's a bus. So this is the crowd from the cruise ship.
We try to avoid a lot of the touristy places because we're just not good with lines. We will wait. Like in Key West, we waited maybe about half hour to take a picture with the southernmost point. By the way, the line is much shorter now, so it comes and goes. So
Something has to really be worth it for us to be convinced to wait. Otherwise, we try to avoid it as much as we can. I'm sure nobody likes waiting, but we do evaluate, and if it's something that really means a lot to us, then we would wait.
The tour company is heading out. So we got the sun sculpture almost all to ourselves out here. It's a nice ramp here too. You can see one of the tour boats in the back. And the official name of this is the Sun Voyager. It's like a steel structure, there's not much happening, but because of the whole Viking history of Iceland, you look at this and right away it just looks like a Viking ship coming on shore, right? The kids wanna just step on the first rock and take a picture. Give me a fun pose. As you can see, the crowd situation here, just a couple of people taking their pictures and selfies. And just check this out, how cool this looks when there's nobody around. That backdrop, can you imagine seeing the Aurora Borealis, the northern lights behind it? We did the most visited place in Reykjavik. Now we're gonna go drive around the inner cities. It's starting to rain again, so before we get wet, we're gonna drive into the town, maybe even stop at the concert hall. There's a green mound there, maybe go climb on that. We got 4 ways. So this Alia is the harbor tour plus whale watching. So they take you whale watching in these open boats, but noticing how rough the seas were, I decided not to do it. It's about $150 per person. So that is the Chinese consulate, I think. No wonder there's a lot of cameras there. We learned this when we were looking for hotels in Lisbon, and there could be a lot of so-so areas and a lot of really nice areas. Picking an area where there's a bunch of embassies, you could almost guarantee that neighborhood is going to be safer at night, it's going to be cleaner, more nicer, and even though it's going to be away from some of the tourist attractions, it's still the better choice. Where are we heading next?
Hallgrímskirkja.
Hallgrímskirkja is a church, the tallest building. I think it's even taller than Statue of Liberty.
It definitely is. It's 73 meters high.
And it was built in 1986. The drive is about 6 minutes. Check out these red street lights. So just like a minute away, there is a shawarma and falafel. And I actually like their logo. Yeah. This would be a completely different video if it was sunny like yesterday. But we are lucky that we have a rental car, so at least we can drive around town and show you guys some of the streets of Reykjavik. We are 3 minutes away. Yeah, I see it. All right, I think we found parking. Now this parking is P4. The time here is 4:15. If I look at my tiny clock within my watch. After 4 o'clock, if you're parking at P4, there is no charge. We actually looked at the official site. We have been parking in P2, and P2 parking you have to pay until 9 p.m. But if it's a P4 like this one, then we're good. Okay, so you can see this is P4 parking. If you zoom in, you can check that it's 10 to 4 is when you have to pay, Monday through Friday, and today is Monday. Let's head over to
Hallgrímskirkja.
Let's go. Yeah, we just told them also after 4 it's free. Oh, we're helping other travelers.
Like we are locals or something.
Like we are locals. All right, let's head over to the church. So we parked the car behind the church because look, the parking here, it's pretty crowded. There's a whole lot of people coming here. On a rainy day in Iceland, it's probably a good activity to do. So you can imagine that this place is going to be pretty crowded inside. And of course, there are tour buses coming here as well. Actually, that chime was really nice. You know what it reminded me of?
Big Ben?
No, I was gonna say in Lisbon, we took a tour up to a church up top. This is the Grasa. Or more closely, yeah, you're right, London, the Big Ben chimes. But these were much more sweeter. Right across from the church is Loki, which is traditional Icelandic food. We're standing on rocks, taking picture, and I can now start to see why they say this is, it looks like a rocket ship from the front. Kiz, do you see a rocket ship?
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda, right? You know, one of the benefits of a rainy day is you get a lot of these places all to yourself. Now, right in front of the church is the Hotel Leifur Eriksson. It actually didn't come up in our search because it was more than $500 or $600 a night for the weekend we were looking for. Now, right in front of this church, you can actually see why some people call this design a rocket ship design.
It does look very majestic, and it does have a very unique. I don't think we have seen any church structure like this before. The height, to be exact, is 74.5 meters, and that makes it the tallest building in Reykjavik. The construction of this church lasted for over 40 years. It started in 1945 and it ended in 1986.
You can go inside and go all the way to the top by paying a nominal fee. I think it's around $7 to $8 and get a view of Reykjavik right from the top, from the tallest building in Reykjavik.
As we learn more about the design, it's heavily influenced by the unique geological formations found in Iceland. The structure resembles a mountain rising from the earth.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So less about being a rocket ship, but more about the landscape of Iceland and how it ties to nature with the modern touch, with the Icelandic touch. Now we're gonna say goodbye to this architectural marvel of Reykjavik. I'm gonna head over to the Icelandic traditional food. Okay, so this is the Icelandic traditional food. The restaurant is called Loki. I like their logo also. See what they have for their menu. Okay, so they have a lamb shank, steamed cod, meat soup as a main course, a Loki, which is rye bread slices with mashed fish, and smoked trout, flatbread and smoked lamb. And then they have a must-try tasting fermented shark. And this is something that I learned that the tourists do a lot. They come here and eat the fermented shark, but the locals apparently don't, and because it leaves a funky taste in your mouth. So, Chris, you want to try fermented shark?
I'm pretty sure they leave the shark outside for 30 a month to rot.
Yeah, it's something like that, right? It's fermented. So here's the menu, and they also have Costa coffee, right? Alia, any appetite for fermented shark? No. Check out the neighborhood around this church. A lot of benches, parks. Even though it's crowded inside, I'm sure, with all those tour buses in. And this is what the church looks like from the side. So you can see the front is pretty tall and the back is massive. You can see the tour guide inside. There's also a museum right across from the church. This is the Bathing in Blue Lagoon and the panoramic Reykjavik tour. Let's see what this is. This is a Apollo tour. That's the travel experience. Yeah, I think we did good by not parking here. You can avoid all that traffic. And we are just literally a block behind the church. Alia pointed out some local art. This is like an apartment building.
Half human, half owl.
Yeah. Okay, we are at our next stop, which is kind of a unique stop for us. We have come to the Grand Mosque of Iceland. Let's see if we can go in and just check it out for a little bit. And then we'll be on to the main road, the main street of downtown Reykjavik. That'll be our next spot. But how cool is that? We saw a church, and here is the Grand Mosque of Iceland. Check out the minar with the moon on top, and it's called the Northernmost Icelandic, the Grand Mosque of Iceland. Is this for women? Welcome. Come this way. So this is the Grand Mosque of Iceland. Isa, hither. This is the highest you guys have ever prayed in the world.
Yeah.
In Reykjavik, Iceland. That's kind of cool.
In a different country.
In a different country, even higher than Anchorage, Alaska. And that's Alia above. That's Alia. And here are the praying times. And this is that the design and architecture of this mosque? Looks like it. We're signing our names under, as we were going through the book, we saw this signature from New Jersey, from UK, Canada, Qatar. So a lot of people coming in with love from Indonesia, Kurdistan. So from around the world. So here's Anissa. So yep, this was the Islamic Foundation of Iceland. About maybe 7-8 years ago, we were in Tokyo and we decided to go and find the mosque, the largest mosque in Japan. Try it. Do this is because it gets us to kind of explore some of the local neighborhoods in different countries or cities that we travel to. So next stop is Bankastræti, which is the main street in Reykjavik. This street had the very first street light in all of Reykjavik. It was an oil lamp back in the 1800s. Look at the houses over there, guys. Finely colored, and a lake and a green roof. We were commenting as we were driving around Reykjavik that there's not a lot of color in the buildings. But I wonder what other people think. There are some public parks which are really nice. There's a Hotel Reykjavik Saga. There's Icelandic street food. Oh, that's where that couple went. Remember, they went inside and they said if you want to save some money, go inside the Icelandic seafood or street food. And they actually got some lamb soup, which they said was pretty good.
Just kebab.
Yeah, doner kebab right next to it. So you can see that street sign says Bankastræti. So that's the street we're going to come back and walk on. But what we're going to do now, we're going to just circle around and find parking. Okay, so there's a P sign over there.
P1?
Oh yeah, we're going to avoid P1. We're going to look for some P4s. P1 typically means it's a 3-hour limit, and it is around 600, if I remember this correctly, 600 kroners versus P2 is 200 kroner. Oh, there's a parking garage. Should we park in here? There's 106 open. Why don't we just park in here? Let's see how much it is. Now, an experiment like this, a random parking lot that we just picked, will tell you guys what our damage is. Oh, it says kroners, 260 kroner for the first hour, and then additional is 130. And if this is true, this is actually a pretty decent rate because we have been paying around 230 kroner for street parking every hour.
Yeah.
So when you go and park and are as random as us, like we just went in, the name is written right on top that you're gonna enter when you go into your Parka app. Okay, as Alia, you're researching, I'm gonna guess what this is.
Yes.
I'm gonna guess this is the Prime Minister's residence.
So this is the Embassy of Denmark.
Embassy of Denmark.
I think I see the Denmark flag too.
Oh
now
yeah,
that
you're
we
right. Now that we pay attention to
Yeah.
this. Okay, and then there's a building right next to it called Miami. But we're gonna walk this way to Bankastrati. That's a pretty cool bench.
That's right.
In the 1950s, a popular cafe operated here at Laugavegur 11. It was simply named Laugavegur 11 after its street address. It was frequented by artists and students and is well remembered as a popular literary hangout in Reykjavik's past.
Definitely the liveliest street we have been to yet in Iceland. Here's a taste of Iceland. Alia is checking out some Icelandic design. Alia, that coat. So price-wise, like a couple of tumblers are about 7,000 kroner, 1,000 kroner is on $7. So yeah, expensive, but it's a beautiful store.
Right where the tourist info is, this street takes us right to where our parking garage is.
That's the eggplant building, so we walk that direction. If you come here, that's your parking garage and tourist info. It's a grocery store. And Noodle Bar is next. Bao Bite. Right opposite Screed. The Noodle Bar actually looks pretty good. If you had more time, would you come and hang out here for hours?
This is the place where I want to hang out. Like, I want to spend the whole evening, daytime here, sit down, eat something, go into the shops, and just walk around random streets. You know, this is the kind of place that I love in any city where you don't have to navigate or follow a map. You just go in any street and every street has something to offer. So this is a very nice place. We're not on Bankastrati yet, are we?
I think so. This is it.
This is Laugavegur.
Oh,
This is Laugavegur. So we are gonna go and walk through Bankastrati too, but this whole neighborhood, I think, is the...
yeah, and like look at these tiny buildings and restaurants. Really nice. Oh, we're gonna go and check some souvenirs.
I'm getting this bid. What's it called?
A puffin.
Yeah, a puffin. And it has the Icelandic flag on it.
That's very nice.
And it's only for 1,200 kronen.
Which is about $8.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Patches, pins, plush toys, puffins, little sweaters. Price-wise, this is 18,000. So again, $1,007. So 7 times 18. We spent quite a bit of time in this souvenir shop. It's really nice actually. And Isa got a bag. What do you got, buddy?
In the
You have-
bag, I have a puffin.
A puffin named.
I named almost every single plushie I get with an E at the end. Like, for example, I have the crocodile and I named it Crocky.
Yeah.
So I named the puffin Puffy.
Puffy. From the souvenir shop, he has a puffin.
Very cute.
Alia, which direction is Bankastrati?
Oh,
Okay, so for reference, the street we are on is called Laugavegur. And we're looking for Bankastrati, which is the main street. Right next to the street we were standing on is this. It's a Laugavegur street, and right in front of it, you can see the church that we were on. Now check out the restaurants here. There's fish and chips. If you just come straight from the church, Benkasreti is very close to it. All right, we're gonna test out a quick another souvenir shop. Wow, lava souvenirs, glass souvenirs, puffin souvenirs.
Puppet
like this.
souvenirs. No, puppet souvenirs.
We're gonna head down. Alia, the fish and chips smells.
Yes.
So the prices at the fish and chips, this one is 33.90 kroner, so about $17 to $20 what you can expect for one. Burgers about 24.90. We kind of looked at their menu, looked at the reviews. It looks pretty good, but then we talked ourselves out of it. And this is what we do.
always.
We get excited about restaurants all the time, and then we keep, you know, people do comment, Alia, on our videos that we are extremely boring when it comes to cuisine.
It's embarrassing at this point now, so.
And those of you who are craving a little bit of American, there is Subway. Now Subway's, Domino's, and one KFC. Those are the three brands. Shockingly, we have not seen a single McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's here, which, I mean, it's a good
Dunkin'
thing.
Donuts.
Or Dunkin' Donuts. Like, you know, typically the brands that you would see as you fly around the world, you have not seen in Reykjavik. But what we have seen quite a bit are halal or doner kebab type shops. There's another chain here called Kebab Sara, S-A-R-A. Oh, Alia just pointed. Yeah, look at that background. Can you imagine if this was a clear day?
Okay, you are speaking my mind right now because I was just gonna say, just imagine the same visual on a sunny day.
Now, a ramen momo place. Alia, do you remember just 4 days ago we had momos in Manhattan?
Yeah.
But I like their storefront.
Yeah.
Dumpling
You're
And-
right.
ramen. Oh, they have vegan miso. That's actually not bad. There's another Iceware logo up there. I did ask if Iceware is a local brand. Apparently the owner, the guy who created Iceware, is from Iceland. You can only find Iceware in Iceland, but the production of Iceware moved out of Iceland because of the demand. So quite pricey, maybe about $200 for those sweaters. You can also enjoy cars like these all around. My favorite, of course, is this, a Suzuki Jimny. That tiny plane keeps reminding you that we are right next to the smaller airport, not REF, but REV, I think. It's a regional airport. Okay, so from Benkasreti, the main street, we're gonna walk over to the concert hall and look at the water as we close out this fun video. So again, we are walking next to the Prime Minister Palace that was used for a jail, for governor's palace. It's a building from 1700s. We were just saying how beautiful this whole place is, including like just walking around the downtown Reykjavik area. So I would highly recommend not to pass it up, even on a rainy day like today. Check out this bench. That's pretty creative.
Like a wave.
Yes, it is a wave. That building is pretty neat. And the concert hall looks amazing. Check out these ramps with water flowing underneath. Huh, very neat. Check out how cool this building looks on camera. Oh wow. So we're walking closer to a couple of these ships that are docked here, right next to the concert hall. I don't think, Alia, this is the Coast Guard vessel. I think they are proper Navy ships, but we're gonna go check them out up close. So you can see how close from the Benkasreti, the main downtown area, how close it is to walk straight to the seaport. There's a giant, I was gonna call it the London Eye, but a Ferris wheel there as well. A couple of tugboats. And again, you're right next to this beautiful glass structure, which we're gonna go in to warm up for in a second. And here's a look at Pufa So this is an art installation by an artist that you can climb on top of. It kind of looks small, but it's quite big if you look at those lampposts right next to it. So you can actually climb up the pufa. So nothing like randomly walking around Reykjavik. We had some idea. There, right behind there is how our day started. We went to see what I'm gonna call the Viking ship. It's not a Viking ship, but it's a Sun Voyager sculpture. Then we headed back. We went to the church. We went to a mosque in a local neighborhood. From there, we went to their main street, walked down the main street, and then we just took some random turns. And here we are. Thanks to Alia, she spotted the giant concert hall. All in all, I think you can do a full loop within 40-45 minutes. It's
if
actually
the weather's nice and if you're dressed appropriately, all the touristy or all the famous things are right by each other, so it's a very easy walk.
And right behind this Ferris field is the Reykjavik Art Museum. I think it's closed. It's about 7:15. I don't see anybody going in. We're inside the concert hall. Nobody stopped us. Everything seems closed. So we came down in the concert hall and there is a bathroom. I can see it right there, but it's is it $1? Around $1 to enter. Since we're heading to a restaurant anyway, we're gonna head back up. If you come in daytime when this building is open, you can go walk all the way to that side and walk around this building with a 360 or almost 360 view of Reykjavik. Here you can get an idea what the building inside looks like. Again, it's a concert hall, but a lot of people did mention that they come here just for the views because the glass all around gives you a great view of the water. And if you're curious, the most expensive hotel in all of Reykjavik was the Edition. When we were searching for our dates, the total for 3 nights was coming to around $2,300 for just a tiny room. So on that lovely note, we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you for joining us on a quick walking, driving tour, a very random day in our lives in Reykjavik. Hope you guys come back and check some of our other videos around Iceland, and we're gonna catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now. Guys, there's an open 24/7 1011 store right close to the downtown convenience store. So it's open 24/7, and this will also show you what the streets look like in the dark. We just got out of a restaurant here. It was a Pakistani cuisine. Go check that video out. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, but check all the nightlife here. It's crowded. See original Icelandic bistro and some stalls on the side. It's an extra bonus clip. We're gonna walk back to our car. You're gonna see how much it cost us to park there in that parking garage. Once we check out, we'll see what the transactions say. And here you can check out on a Monday night. A lot of the restaurants are fairly packed. Quite a few people in here, but all the stores are closed. It's around 8:30 at night. Yeah, I think Ali, you were saying that if you come here on a cruise port stop, it's really nice. You're back on what's on tourist info. This is where we parked. All right, so this is where we're gonna go in. And I think just putting a license plate up to the checkout area, it should auto detect and probably tell us what was the total damage for parking our car.
Black, and you put it English.
English.
I don't know if it's I or.
Oh my god.
I last time I put 1, so it gave me this.
So that's the total payment, $585 for how many hours were we here?
3 hours 26 minutes.
3 hours and
parking time.
26 minutes. And there you have it. All right, another thing I noticed in I think most European cars, they always give you a small fire extinguisher, which I don't know. I find it interesting.
It's right next to the building that we like.
Oh yeah, the eggplant color building that we love. Maybe we should paint our house this color.